What's up, everybody? Just came from a nice little walk around the track, getting it together, getting my mind right, thinking like I always do, just conscious things that come into my mind. And I think about certain things that affected me and probably affected millions and millions of other people that look just like me. And I was thinking aloud how I lost so many friends to the streets, whether it's been murder or prison. And I had to sit back and I had to reflect on some certain things. And I was like, when I grew up as a young man in the 80s, before the crack game came into play, it was the parents looked out for other parents and watched other kids and did positive things, and it wasn't a lot of negativity going on then until the crack game came. And then when rap music was evolving at that time, we was listening to songs like the Sugar Hill Gang, and we was listening to the early Roger Troutman and funkadelic type of music back then. And then things had started to change. When NWA first came out in '86. See, a lot of people think they came out in '87, but the form of that group came out in '86, when they were called CIA, Compton's in Effect, or something like that. I don't know, I can't really remember. But then as time went on, you had Boys in the Hood, which was a cool song. And by that time, when people started selling dope, then it's like people started getting bigger and better guns. It went from a little snub-nosed 38 with 6 bullets, or a little 22 caliber, or a little 25, or a one-shot rifle, to 9mm and Uzis and AKs and 45s and 44s and Glocks and all that crap. Because people that was selling dope now, they had money, to provide themselves for protection and to ward off enemies. And then, once gang members got a hold of those type of weapons, it took gangbanging to a higher level, to where the killings was just out of control. The hatred towards one another was out of control. So it's like the highest. Then 1988 came, and NWA came out with Straight Outta Compton, which was a good record. But when I think about it now, it was basically a record based on our destruction. So when that rap album was popular, then it started trickling down to other rappers coming out with their side and their stories of gangster rap. Because you understand, Ice-T was already out, but see, Ice-T didn't promote violence. Ice-T just spoke about the game and what was going on in the streets, and telling certain stories of his life. You know what I'm saying? That's why I liked Ice-T. You know, because Ice-T, they could say Ice-T was probably the first gangster in rap on the West Coast as far as I was concerned. You know, so NWA created the narrative of murder and killing and shooting and doing all this old crazy stuff. So then it's like, you know, when we was kids, we used to listen to underground tapes from DJ Quick. And we used to listen to underground tapes from MC8 with his CMW. And then it was just like, you know, it kept rolling. And then it was King T, you know, and then, you know, it just kept snowballing. It just kept snowballing and snowballing and snowballing. So then we fast forward to like 1990, I would say. You know, me and my friends, we would get high. We would listen to certain rap music, and we would be like, yeah, that's the thing to do. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. So we would sell drugs. We would rob. We would steal. We would break into people's houses. We was doing all kind of stupid shit. So unfortunately, one day we ended up getting caught. I ended up going to jail. I ended up doing time for it. And when I got out, it was late 90s, late 1990. And you can see that now that gangster rap was really starting to take a run for it. So then it was like after that, slowly but surely you started seeing all the positive rap groups, you know, start depleting, you know what I'm saying? It was like you started seeing people hearing less about KRS-One. You started hearing less music from Public Enemy. You know, and then further on, you stop hearing positive rap songs like by the Brand Nubians. And you was like, dang, you know, I like that rap too. But they wasn't pushing those rap songs no more. They only was pushing gangster rap, negativity rap. Kill, 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 murder, 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 sell drug, get high, get high, get high, get high. And those songs had a big influence in our lives. And you think about it, when I was doing my research, I had noticed that the record industries was doing this on purpose to destroy the Aborigines community. And what I mean by that was I talked about other people being investors in the prison systems, but they don't even compare to the music industry that invested over $2 billion into building private prisons. So what they would do is they would find these certain rappers with talent. They would put them in, promote them, give them a platform, throw them a little bit of chump change, and tell them to talk about all the negativity and destroying their people and killing their people and talking down on their women and destroying their women. And when they started doing that, you started seeing the drive-by shootings. You start seeing the murder rate going up high. You start seeing the drug usage going up to an all-time high. And the snowball turned from this little bitty ball from 1986 all the way to this big, huge avalanche that we're seeing today. So you got to think about this. If they're putting $2 billion in private prisons and they make a deal with the government, which the government helps fund them to promote rap music in a negative light, stop signing all conscious rappers, stop signing all good rappers with talent, and you promote everybody with kills and that talk about killing, destruction, negativity, murder, degrading of our women. And then that turns into what? A multi-billion-dollar industry. Sure, they'll make these guys millionaires, but they're billionaires. You see the difference? The billionaires gonna always trump the millionaires. And then when when these gangster rappers become conscious and they kind of wake up and say, oh, you know what, this is bullshit, what do they end up doing? They end up all of a sudden getting caught up with these so-called cases, these drug cases, these murder cases, these violent cases, because they don't need them no more, because they want to get the next best new young thing. So you gotta look at it, they making money both ways. First of all, they robbing these rappers. And then after they rob them, and then they tell them to influence us how to dress, what to wear, what to buy, what to smoke, who to kill, who to destroy, who to degrade. We end up doing that. So at the same time we killing each other, and at the same time we out here selling dope or smoking dope or whatever, we making all of these people rich. So you make Nike rich, you make Louis Vuitton rich, you make Tommy Hilfiger rich, who else? It's a Gucci? Yeah, Gucci. You make Gucci rich. You know, you made all of these Arab jewelers rich with the gold and the diamonds and the platinum and all of that shit. You make all of them rich. But all in all, you made our community and our mental psyche poor, which fucked us up in a worse way, which is still affecting us till today in 2019, and in a couple of weeks it'll be 2020. And we didn't see this destruction. So they use these rappers, pay them a few pennies to tell us to destroy each other. So we go out there and we do stupid shit, and then we get caught, then we go to prison, and then they make more money off of us because they have investors and investments from other people and with help from the government to put us in prison, to do these to work at these super duper slave wages. Some guys making 25 cents an hour, some guys making 2 cents an hour. It all depends. And then you making that money, and you have to pay that money back for your court fees and your public defender and all that other shit before you can even see a dime of your own money, which is basically nothing. So it's like basically saying, like, say for instance, a pack of noodles is $2. You gotta work a whole day, a whole 8-hour day, just to afford a pack of noodles. When you can go to when you free, you can go to your local grocery store and get them for 25 cents a pack. You know what I'm saying? So they put these guys in this prison. They get funded by the government. They make billions and billions of dollars on inmates in these private companies to build furniture, make license plates, pick food, farms, fight fires, They use them for all kind of things in all aspects of the spectrum. Slavery at its finest, thanks to rap music. So who can we blame for that? We have to blame ourselves for that, because we wasn't awoke and we wasn't conscious to think about the things that they were doing and the narratives that they were presenting to us for us to destroy ourselves. You got to understand, they look at us like we're nothing. They look at us like we don't mean shit to them. No? And it ain't just all white people that's doing it. It's Jews doing it too. The Jews are doing it worse than anybody. No? That's why they try to put on this, they do all kind of things to get your money. That's why they put these different narratives of the Bible as far as religion. You know, people don't even know the Jewish community owns the copyrights of the Bible, which is nothing but a storybook written by 12 men. I'm not going to believe what I read in a book just because some man that wrote the book says what it is. Why is it that God only talked to 12 people? Why is it that God only had one son? See, I don't fall for none of that shit, because I know it's a bunch of bullshit. Life that I'm living today is completely, totally different, opposite from what's in that Bible. And I'm not dissing nobody that's religion. If you belong to a religion cult, that's your preference. I don't care. But in my mind, I see what's going on. And my eyes are wide awoke. And my eyes are wide open. My eyes were wide open when my mom had told me. And I asked my mom, I said, Mom, I remember I was a little kid, I said, Mama, why we stop going to church? My mama said, because it's a bunch of bullshit. That's why I stopped going. And I stopped you guys going because I didn't like what I was seeing and I didn't like what I was hearing. So I pulled you guys up out of church. You guys don't need to be exposed to that. You guys don't need to be brainwashed, and you guys don't need to be exposed to trickery and fantasy and fairy tale. Is what my mama told me. And I said, oh, okay, cool. Because when my kids got older, I never took my kids to church. Not one time. And my kids turned out to be perfectly fine. None of them never been to jail. None of them never been on drugs. None of them never been to prison. None of them never even got in trouble in school. They all graduated from school. Some of them went to college. Some of them chose to just get out of high school and just work because they was tired of being fooled and manipulated in school. Because I used to tell my kids all the time, you know, school ain't nothing but a game. I told my kids, the only thing you're going to remember in school is the memories that you have with your friends, reading and mathematics and economics. I told my kids all the time, school don't teach you nothing but to go work for somebody else. School never taught you how to be an entrepreneur or how to be an owner or be an innovator. You know? And I thank God as a father, I used to piss my kids off, but I thank God as a father that I was there for them and I never left my kids hanging, and I was always make sure I was there for my kids, and they always made sure that they seen their father. And even when me and their mom wasn't together, it was always my duty to make sure that I was in my kids' life. It was always make sure I can talk to my kids, be with my kids. My kids live with me, so it ain't like I ever been a deadbeat father or nothing like that. I love my children to death. You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that made me who I am today. That molded me into being a better man. That molded me to stop being in the streets. Stop being out there with the wrong people. And plus I use my conscious mind to understand the things that I was seeing and what was going on. So you got the record industry investing into the private prison system, which is teaching these rappers to go out there and preach to our people, which are the new preachers and the new reverends of society. to commit murders, commit destruction, and disrespect our beautiful black women. And that's just how it goes. So they making money hand over fist off of us. No, they're not trying to kill us off. They're trying to put us into slavery, modern day slavery, by being inside of these prisons. And we don't get it. You know, like you got these young rappers, they sitting up there talking about these older rappers. These old rappers is hating. Oh, they hating. They trying to stop me from getting my bag. No, they trying to tell you something that's real, but you don't see it. Then, so after they do that, then what's the next thing that they do to us Aborigines black men? They go after our masculinity next. You know why they go after our masculinity next? Because they sick of us fucking they white women. That's what they mad about. Because we be dicking them down. And white women love black dick. And I'm just gonna be honest about it. They love black dick. So in order for them to stop that, then they get these rappers like Young Thug, Lil Wayne, and any other little rapper that wear those little tight ass, little skinny, feminine ass clothes that they wear, and dresses and all of that shit. So this is the narrative that they're pushing now to discontinue the masculinity of us men. No. My son, when they first came out with that skinny jean shit, I told my son, I looked him dead in his eyes. I said, if you ever put on some motherfucking skinny ass, tight ass jeans, I will fuck you up. I said, I refuse to see you following a trend that wants you to dress like a motherfucking woman. You are a man, and you gonna be a man, and you gonna be a masculine man, and a strong young man, is what I told my son. And he said, yeah, you know what, you're right, Dad. I don't want to wear nothing that my sisters wear, or I don't want to wear nothing skinny and tight like my sisters wear. And he didn't. And I was real proud of my junior for that. And this is what they doing to us. And we keep allowing it, and we not seeing it. All because we want to fit in with the fad, and we listening to the music of the beat. We not even hardly we listen to some of the lyrics, but we not really listening to all the lyrics. We trying to see what these rappers are wearing, because it's the latest trend that they're coming out. So we're trying to buy the latest trend, and see, here it goes again, the same thing going on. We're making certain clothing companies rich. But it's now with a feminine aspect behind it. You see where it's going? You just keeps letting history repeat itself over and over again. So they got them dressing feminine now, but they still promoting the same shit. They still promoting the violence, and now they promoting the drug usage at an all-time high. Take this lean, take this promethazine, take this opium. You know what I'm saying? Snort this cocaine. You know? Pop these mollies. Take these Percocets. You know? It's the same thing over and over again. Now you go get high. Now you act like you gangster. Now you go out there and you go kill somebody. We already made our money off of you. So now we gonna send you to prison so we can make more money off of you. Now you in here for life. You only 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Now we got you for life. You a young, strong black man. Now we got you for 50 and 60 years. All because you didn't use your mind. All because you didn't think. And all because we pay rappers to influence you so your dumb ass can go out there and go do some dumbass shit. Thank you, you dumbass nigger. You stupid ass nigger. We got you. Yes, sir, we got you. But we just don't see it. We have to start waking up. We have to start utilizing our brains. And to my black men, my Aborigines black men, you guys got to start being in these boys' lives, man. You guys got to start taking care of these boys, man. These boys that's going to become men just like you. It's our jobs to put an end to this shit. It's our jobs to stop this shit. You know, it's nothing wrong with some of the music that we listen to, you know, because by heritage we that's how we live. We live our lives by the beat of the music. That's how we dance. That's how we come up on things. The only problem that I have is that we need to stop letting those motherfuckers like the Jews and the white community that's getting rich off of us. We got to quit letting them exploit us. You know what I'm saying? But it's always gonna be somebody that's gonna be bought. Always. They can buy whoever they want to buy. You know. True story. I was gonna be a rapper. We was in a group. It was called Chaos, K-A-O-S, Killing All Opposing Suckers. It was me, my boy D-Boy, my Chinese partner. He's Chinese. His name was Ramon, and my boy Samuel Monroe. For those who don't know who Samuel Monroe is, Samuel Monroe was the one who played the girl's cousin in Menace to Society, and he was the one who played in Tales from the Hood. That was my friend. Me and Samuel Monroe, we worked together. We had 2 jobs together, me and him. We worked at a warehouse in Chino for the Kool-Aid Company, which is Kraft Foods, and we worked at the Ontario Airport for UPS. So at the job at the warehouse in Chino, we worked 3 days on, 4 days off, then 4 days on, 3 days off. And all in all, we was going back and forth to both jobs. And he was like, oh, I'm gonna be an actor one day, and da-da-da. And we used to do underground shows in Ontario. We used to rap, and we used to do all kinds of stuff. We went to talent shows, all kind of shit. And we won talent shows and all of that. And when it was time for us to start getting into the rap industry and start getting big, Sam went one way to start his acting. Ramon, he had went to school. And me, by that time, I started having kids. So I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm just gonna fucking work a 9 to 5. You know, and then my boy D, he started working his 9 to 5. My boy Big E, he started working his 9 to 5. And that was just, maybe it was just a blessing for me not to have been in that type of industry, because I know in my mind, I had a lot of evil shit in my mind, a lot of evil thoughts, a lot of evil memories. So it ain't no telling what I would have been promoted to say if I would have said it. You know what I'm saying? People wouldn't even think that I used to be a rapper, but I used to be a dope-ass lyricist. I just never let nobody hear me rap. You know? I was like an Ice Cube back then, but I really lived what he was talking about. You see what I'm saying? It's a big difference. So we gotta wake up, man. You know, I know if I can wake up, and I know if I can change the way I think and change my whole narrative in life and my whole change of thought and way of thinking, anybody can do it, man. It's just all about seeing things, reading between the lines, and understanding the things that you're going through. Don't listen to what they tell you that you are. A lot of us didn't come from Africa. Start doing your research. Start getting old obituaries and seeing who your grandfather was, who your grandmother was, who their parents was, and then who their parents were, and who their parents were. And then you'll find out, you'll be like, damn, some of y'all don't even know. Your ancestors owned slaves. You know? And it wasn't just black slaves like they tell you in the history book. There were Chinese slaves, there were Hispanic slaves, there were even white slaves. Straight up. But the only ones that they didn't give apologies to or reparations to was us. Why does our community got to be called the hood? Why does our community got to be called the ghetto? But then again, you see, they used to hold the Chinese in concentration camps back then. Now they got Chinatown. I mean, come on, man. We got to stop doing this stupid shit. It ain't no white man's fault. It ain't no Jewish man's fault. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say in my previous videos, the thing that we live and die for and the thing that we sell our soul for is those little green pieces of paper with the face on the front. When we can learn to turn those down and just regularly say, you know what? I'm not doing this to destroy my people. Then we can do it, but they not. You got a little young kid that's living somewhere in New Orleans or Texas or California or Chicago or New York that been in poverty, mama on welfare, daddy ain't nowhere to be found, ain't never had no money, but he sat down and started rapping and putting talents to his use, and knowing he's not really a gangster, but since he got the talent and the skills to write it down, they gonna make him portray himself as one, and they gonna tell him, yo, okay, we will pay you this amount of money if you talk like this, act like this, and do this and do that, and dress like this. And what do? They end up doing it, and they keep adding on to the destruction of our people. Do we want to die, or do we want to live? Do we want to succeed in this world, or do we want to perish in this world? Do we want to be free men and free women, or do we want to be slaves in this world? Slaves to the mental, slaves to the prison system. What is it we want to do? What is it that we want to do? We are in a fight for our lives that we must win, and we must accomplish, and we must succeed in. If we don't do it, we are going to be destroyed. Our children are going to be destroyed. What you think the flu shot does? You think it helps you? Or does it do something to you mentally? What do you think the music does? Does it help you, or does it do something to you mentally? Think about that. What do you think the drugs of today are doing? Do they help you mentally, or do they destroy you mentally? You don't see no other culture promoting drugs like us. You don't see no other culture promoting alcohol like us, cigarettes like us. We the only ones that promote all the shit that's bad for us. And they promote this shit to make it seem like it's good for all of us when it's not. See where I'm coming from? You know, this is somebody that's been there and done that. Oh, I used to drink every day. Used to smoke weed every day. I never touched cocaine, never got high, never hit no crack pipes. I never even smoked PCP. I never popped pills. None of that. I don't even have tattoos. Because I didn't need none of that shit. I used to drink a lot because I was angry all the time. And I used to combat it with weed because weed made me calm. And it slowed me down from doing a lot of destructive things that I could have done further into my life. That could have put my ass in prison for life. You know? My whole perspective of my life was to never let people know me personally and know the inside psyche of me and how I used to think. Anytime I ever did my dirt, I did it by myself. 99.9% of the time. I would never let people know what I was doing. Never let people know I was handling business or taking care of the things that I need to take care of. Whether it was business in the streets or if it was an enemy. You know, people label you of who you are because of the things that they see. If they see you shoot somebody or you shot somebody or you did something, then they label you as a killer and a gangster and he not the dude to be messed with. Or if they see you out there selling dope, driving a nice car with jewelry and all that shit, oh, he's a baller. He this, he that. You don't want to be known as none of that. Because once those labels stick on you, they stuck with you for life. That's the same thing as them having you on gang file for the rest of your life. And there ain't shit you can do about it. Because every time you try to do something right in your life and something goes wrong and you have to go to jail, you know the first thing they're going to say? They're going to say, oh, well, he belongs to so-and-so gang. We have him on gang file. This is his gang history. These are the things that he's done in the past by contributing to being into this gang. He's done this, he's done that, he's done that, he's done this. And you know what they're going to say? Yeah, this guy here, he don't no longer deserve to be on the streets anymore. Life. Think about it. Yo, educating your brain and being a lot smarter and knowing how to maneuver through shit in life is gonna get you through life. I mean, they want to tell you that selling drugs is bad, but they don't tell their doctors that give these other people prescription drugs that they bad. So I'm telling you, if you out there selling dope and if you making money, learn how to move by yourself. Don't move around with a crew. Don't move around with a bunch of dudes. You know what I'm saying? You got a problem with somebody and I'm not promoting violence, I'm not promoting drug selling, but I'm just saying from a mental psyche of what I'm saying. If you got a problem with an enemy, handle it by yourself. Don't get loud. Don't get, crazy about it so everybody know that y'all beefing. You got a problem with him, do your homework. Find him. Get him. It's the military way. They 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 send our troops across overseas all the time to go out there and murder and kill people all the time because they want they not getting no justice. They want the resources. They want the resources. See, United States of America is not a country. It's a corporation. And people need to understand that. It is not a country. People say, oh, I'm fighting for my country. No, you're fighting for the corporation of America. That's all you're doing. That's how they're able to get these resources with water, opium, cocaine, the marijuana industry, all of that stuff. All of that stuff plays into their business. Everything they do, it plays into their business. They the smart ones, you know? And everybody in America ain't nothing but pawns. Just like on a chess game. That's all it is, man. But I hope this insight wakes somebody up. I hope the insight that I share with you stops you from going to prison, stops you from killing somebody, stops you from doing these way out crazy ass drugs that you don't need to take. You know? Because you got our women out here taking these drugs and they getting pregnant and they passing this on to our kids. So our kids come out mentally fucked up. And then these parents is putting these kids on SSI just for the money, just so they pay you to stay where you at. You can't come live in Beverly Hills, but we'll give you this $400 in food stamps, which they trying to cut out, by the way. But we'll give you these food stamps. We'll give you $500 per child, and you can go put these kids on SSI, and you can get about $800 for them. So that should cover you enough to pay for your rent. All the money that we paying for you, we'll take that money, we'll calculate interest on it, we'll go after the father, and if the father doesn't pay, we'll catch the father, we'll put the father in prison for 2 years, and he'll have to pay some of that debt in prison. Then we'll let him out, and hopefully that he gets a job. Then when he gets a job, we're still gonna fucking take his money because we let that interest accumulate. So now it's up to $2,000 a month or something like that. They don't care about you, man. No. Stop doing deals with the devil. I have spoken.